I'm doing weird stuff now. So I mean, stuff I never thought I'd do. Like I run now. So I know I don't look like I do, but I do. It's as awkward as you picture. I'm too top heavy, so I gotta like lean way back like an old timey cartoon character or something. And I only got into running. I only got into it because my mother tricked me into it. If I'm 100% honest with you, my mother tricked me into running because my mother loves running. She runs marathons. She runs all the time, and she's always asking me if I'm running. She's always calling me up like, Peter, are you running? And I tell her, I'm honest. I'm like, listen, Mom, I try to run. I do. I go out and I try to run. But it just doesn't work. I run for like 4 minutes, and I'm telling my body to keep going, but my body just stops, and I just walk home sad. It's not a fun experience. I hit a wall. That's what I tell her. I hit a wall every time I try to run. And she goes, I get that. She goes, I understand. She goes, but what you don't understand is that everybody hits that wall. Everybody hits that wall, and if you can just force yourself to keep going, if you can just push yourself through that wall, on the other side of the wall, you get to experience something called the runner's high. And I was like, you're getting high off this shit? Because that would explain running a lot. I thought it sucked, but if you get high at the end, then that seems like an all right deal. You know what I mean? And I was like, what's it like? And this is what she says. This is what she says word for word. She goes, it's the greatest feeling you've ever felt in your entire life. She goes, it comes over you like a wave. Starts at your feet, comes all the way up to the top of your head. She said it a second time. She goes, the greatest feeling you've ever felt in your entire life. And I was like, all right, man, I'm in. Do you know what I mean? I'm broke. I like to get high. This seems like a fiscally responsible thing to do. You know what I mean? So I set my mind to it. I'm like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to experience the runner's high. So every day, and honestly, it takes me like 6 weeks. Every day I go for a run. Every day I go out and I run and I get like 4 minutes in, and then my fat body just stops running and I just walk home sad. But every day I get a little bit farther. So, I mean, and finally one day, like I said, like 5 or 6 weeks in, finally one day, I'm out for a run and I'm extra spiteful. And I hit that wall while I'm running, and I'm like, no, just keep going, just keep going. And I force myself to keep going, and my heart is pounding, and my lungs are on fire. I legit think I might die. You know what I mean? For a second, I'm like, I might die trying to get a runner's high. This is the saddest drug death in history. It's supposed to be rock and roll heroin in a hotel room. I'm going to die getting a runner's high? You pussy? Goddamn. But at that point, whatever. At that point, I'm committed. I'm like, no, I'm going to do it. I don't care. I'm just going to keep going. I don't care if I pass out. And so I keep going and keep going. And I feel like I'm about to pass out. And just as I'm about to pass out, I start to feel better. And it's just like my mom said. It came up from my feet, came over me like a wave. All of a sudden, my knees stopped hurting. Like my hips loosened up and my lungs cleared right up. And I got all the way to the top of my head. And I was like, holy shit, this is it. This is the runner's high. And it was such a weird moment. Like as it got to the top of my head, I just had like one of those weird moments of clarity. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know when you just know something, you don't know why, but you just know. Like as I got to the top of my head, I just knew, like for a fact, like I knew for 100% certainty that my mother has never done drugs. Because this is the shittiest high I've ever experienced. It's insulting to drugs that you call this a high. And the worst part of the whole experience is now I just can't talk to my mom again. Okay? I haven't phoned her in weeks because I can't have that conversation. She's gonna ask me, do you know what I mean? And I can't lie to her. She's my mom. Do you know what I mean? So as soon as I call her, I know she's just gonna be like, so, did you experience the runner's high? And I'm gonna have to be like, yeah. She's gonna be like, was it the greatest thing you ever felt in your entire life? And I'm gonna have to be like, you should try ecstasy. It's about 1 million times better. And you know the best part? No fucking running! You can take it and get high in a chair. It's great.